Alright folks, so tonight we tackle the Scorpion oil pattern, 44 feet, 31 mils of oil at Forest Lanes. Stay tuned to see if I'm successful or another night where I struggle. Here we go. Alrighty folks, so here we are. I'm throwing a Motor Evoke on the right lane and a Tension Star S2 on the left. With the pattern and this pair, the left lane really just didn't want to get the ball to pick up down lane, so went with the ball that was a little quicker off the spot, where the Evoke is a slower response type ball. So our skip tonight was skip 1, skip 2, skip 3, skip 4, so that we followed a different pair every game. So coming to this next pair, I trusted myself to throw the Evoke, being some more control ball. Threw that one a little firm, but not bad enough where I felt the 2-4-10 was correct. Got some bonus pins there as I made it. So here I went to the S2, seeing that the pair would look a little tighter down lane. And that is why we don't rely on messengers. So after the second shot, I'm kind of thinking, let's just get my speed a little softer, give the ball time to come around the corner, and unfortunately I did 2-pin. Reason you don't see that shot is bowlers have this amazing superpower to always find a way to stand in front of the camera, no matter where it's put. So that shot there, after talking to a friend, we discussed me moving way right. I think I moved about 20 boards, going back to the Evoke, and rolling it more, playing the pattern closer to Cheetah instead of Scorpion. And all of a sudden now I have very good ball reaction, as judging by the scores around me, 210, 220 were really good games. So I will say it, throughout the night they got harder and harder, and just shooting 200 was very good. There I just threw a really bad shot. Got my launch angle too straight. And that was the only thing I was worried about when I moved way out like that, is that I would have no hold. Plenty of miss to the right, as this house always has friction there. But no hold definitely told me I had a miss right. Much better shot. Unfortunately, bad break there for Kevin Valmonte. And you're going to see, unfortunately, after this game, I actually ended up being tournament leader. They're just, again, got the ball too straight in front of me. Never got to the spot. And it's really the only time I paid the maximum price on a marginal shot. So, again, I'm staying out, and generally on long patterns you don't do this. Generally you do have to play more in the middle of the lane. But, for anyone wondering, if the gutters hook, it's not always a bad thing. And I apologize, there's no other volume except my droning voice for this, as I didn't realize my microphone cut off on my camera. But, hopefully you guys do enjoy the video itself. And, if you get out to some tournaments, and hopefully these videos will end up helping you some. As far as surface preparation on these bowling balls, knowing the pattern's 44 feet, 31 mils, both balls I actually used all night were at a 2000 grit finish by hand. And hey, there's my best friend. If anyone doesn't know, I generally leave this pin more than I would like to admit. So, it was very nice. This particular game went realistically could have been 300. I got one break. I also ended up with 3 shots that chose not to strike. There's shot number 2 that doesn't strike. And that's the name of the game. Bowling on this stuff, the entry angle I'm creating, yeah, it can strike, but it can also leave a lot more stuff. Physically, this is probably the best game I threw all night. And there's the break I was talking about. Unfortunately, my camera died. I did go 9-pin spare strike in the 10. And this is a game where I would say the wheels kind of fell off a little bit. For some reason, my ball never missed the break point to the right. And I just stopped throwing it there. It could have been the fact that I was contemplating a ball change and I didn't trust it. And that very well could be. When I did finally make the ball change, I did find a quick 3-bagger and salvage this game. But again, it's the fact that this is where I need to be better, because there's no reason for me to throw 3 games where I'm executing good shots, then all of a sudden, just not trusting what I was seeing. Kind of relief on myself, I finally threw it to the right, and it did what it was supposed to do. Part of the thing with the pair I was on, we did have 3 of us with fairly high rev rates, 1 person medium high, and then somebody who's out here learning. That was probably the worst shot I could have thrown. And that's kind of the tattletale I was in the right ball at that point. Because that ball could have very easily big 4 to Greek church, and instead I'm 3-6-10. So here, my fill ball, I'm trying to move left and just see if there was something there. Didn't actually mind the shot location, but just no push. Shot 2-0 out of that. But again, just a bad executed game. So at this point, I'm leading by approximately 51 pins. And realistically, not thinking anyone's going to shoot 250 or 260 out there. As the highest game at the moment was 258, I believe it was. And the next highest game was 244. And those are the only 2 games all day over 240. So just telling myself here to relax and roll the ball forward, get it to the break point, and control the 1-3 pocket. That shot I got around a little bit, which got the ball to come off this break point a little sharper than I wanted. And there's that superpower I was telling you guys about, right there in the middle. So here at the 7th frame, kind of realizing that I'm shooting 220, 230, and I probably was going to have more than enough, and I let a mental lapse and flagged an easy spare. I don't care what level you are, that right there is more costly than anything else. So coming back after the missed spare, I just told myself to make sure I got it off my hand good, and again I'm afraid to get it to the right. I am still leading the tournament, and when it was all said and done, yes, I did win the tournament. But after going over this video, I can see spots where I can still be better. So at this point, I didn't throw that ball great, but I do think there's some transition going on. So here's my 10th frame. And at this point, actually, the tournament was mathematically already locked up. But finally threw another good shot, and followed up that good shot with a not so good shot. So, that's going to be the end of this for you guys. Thank you, everyone. So tonight on Scorpion, I used 2 bowling balls. I used a Motive Evoke for early on. I wanted something to be very early and controllable. Then later on, once the Evoke really wouldn't get through the front part of the lane the best, I went to a Roto Grip Attention Star S2, which similar type of ball, being that big, heavy oil type ball, but with the S2s, the hybrid cover stock's a little cleaner, a little more pop on the back. Both balls were around 2000 surface, and realistically, as you saw in the video, I was able to keep them in front of me. Something I need to do a little better at was near the end of the night, I, for some reason, didn't trust the ball to the right. The ball never missed a spot to the right, so I don't know why I stopped throwing it there. Well, that's something I have to work with, though. Yes, I was successful. I did win the tournament, but whether you win or lose, you can always learn, and reviewing the videos shows where I can be better.